My father was an artist who loved to paint. He used to paint skies and oceans and landscapes. From a young age, I learnt to appreciate light. I used to love it when I was growing up on the really hot days, walking through the jungle with mottled light leaking through the leaves and sitting in the cool by a stream as the light bounced off the water as it tumbled over the rocks. I also had a fascination with lighthouses. There was nothing beautiful about the light, it was very plain, but there was something majestic about these structures that were often placed in the most rugged of places and had a sole purpose, and that purpose was to warn ships and boats of impending danger. And then in later years, as I got involved in photography and filmmaking, I got a new appreciation for the way light played in closed spaces. And I remember seeing the light come through a big stained glass window and then danced on the floor of a cathedral, and it just looked beautiful. I spend most of my days searching for light. I love to film with natural light rather than artificial light. There's something about it which brings a really beautiful dimension to colour. It is so important to have contrast with light. Without shadows and highlights, everything actually just looks flat. But when you have the contrast of beautiful light against the depth of shadows, it actually brings things out. They jump out, they become three-dimensional. It's the combination of shadow and light that brings things to life. Light and darkness are not just opposites of the same thing. Light is actually tangible. It's a measurable source of power. Darkness is just a concept to describe the absence of light. Darkness actually has no power of its own. The only power that darkness can have is when we deplete the power of light. There's a beautiful scripture I love where Jesus says this: "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." It's not just that when Jesus shines his light, darkness is dispelled, but that he also gives us light in order that we might bring light and life wherever we are. And the light he gives us is all of the colours, it's all of the shades, it's all the stars across the universe. It's that beautiful freshness of the early morning light. It's that ability to actually empathise and wind down in the evening with the warmth of the light that comes late in the day. There is so much life to this light that Jesus gives us. I love that. I often think of it as when Jesus brings this light to us, we are actually like that beautiful afterglow that happens when the rain has dispelled and all the things are iridescent because of the moisture in the air. I think that reflects how beautiful this concept that Jesus brings to us, that he is the light of the world and that he's the source of everything that actually brings life. I read this devotion in an old book which I've got here, and this guy called John Oxenham actually brought a new concept of light to me. And it was this, that he basically described that we often think that we need to be this light that draws attention to ourselves and all that Jesus has done. But he actually describes it more like the light of a lighthouse. He says you might be all alone out there where God has positioned you, but He's positioned you strategically where you are in order that you might actually shine a light for those that are in the stormy seas, to guide them into safe harbour. I love that devotion where he says God doesn't accidentally position you where you are, but He has purposely placed you as a light for others where you are.